Hello, divers. Welcome back to Deep Dive with Claret. Today, we're going to be reading a story from Relationship Advice, and it has an update, guys. So, it was posted by Spare15015, and the title is I 26 female. I'm unsure if I need to break up with my boyfriend, 25 male, before buying a house together. My boyfriend and I have been together for 5.5 years. We've been living together for about a year, and now I'm questioning everything. Before we moved in together, I already expressed my concerns about always feeling like I came second to his gaming and his online friends. He reassured me things would be different once we lived together. Since moving in, I've ended up carrying almost all of the mental load. I do the cleaning, cooking, laundry, grocery shopping, walk the dog, and basically manage everything around the house. If I want him to do something, I have to remind him 3 or 4 times, and even then, it often doesn't get done. When I ask why he doesn't help more, he says he just doesn't see the mess. A few months ago, I reached a breaking point. I was completely overwhelmed and told him I couldn't keep doing everything by myself. We agreed to divide the chores so each of us had our own responsibilities. The idea was that he wouldn't have to ask me what needed to be done, which would take some of the mental load off of my shoulders. It worked for about 2 weeks. For those first couple of weeks, he mostly keeps up with his chores, although I still have to remind him occasionally. Then, little by little, everything goes back to how it was before. I end up doing most of the work again. I get exhausted. We have another serious conversation. Things improve briefly, and then the cycle repeats. Another thing that has become increasingly difficult is that whenever I try to have a serious or emotional conversation about our relationship, he tends to shut down. He goes very quiet, doesn't really respond, and I often feel like I'm talking at him instead of with him. It makes me feel unheard and alone, and it leaves me feeling like we're actually not working through the issues together. This has been happening over and over again. I've thought about breaking up multiple times. Usually, those feelings pass after a while and I start feeling content in the relationship again. But then the same issues come back and I'm right back where I started. Last year, we found a house we both loved and signed the purchase agreement. We are due to sign the mortgage and move in soon. But as that date gets closer, my doubts are getting stronger instead of weaker. I'm also starting to realize that it's not just about the chores anymore. I feel more like his roommate than his partner, and I don't feel as attracted to him as I used to. I'm struggling to tell whether these feelings are the result of years of resentment and carrying all the responsibility, or whether I've simply fallen out of love. Is this something that can realistically be fixed, or am I ignoring signs that the relationship has run its course just because we're about to buy a house together? Wow, this is a classic case of weaponized incompetence on a different level because OP is right, the relationship has run its course. It comes to a point in a relationship where weaponized incompetence is basically weaponized, and then it just comes to a point where you don't see the person as your partner, romantic partner anymore. It's hard to see the person romantically, like sexually attracted to them, or the normal things in a relationship. You start to kind of see them as a roommate or someone you're responsible for. Yeah, and that is a big turn off in a relationship. So yeah, I would say OP should break up. It's very easy for me to say, I know, but most relationships like this, the man will never change. The person using weaponized incompetence will never change. Let's read the update to see what happens in the story. Update: I broke it off with my boyfriend. I was devastated for a few days, but I feel happier and better. I spoke on the phone with the seller of my house and she told me I can rent the house by myself instead and we get our down payment back. So basically, I got the best possible outcome. Wow, that's very good. And I'm so happy things worked out so smoothly for OP, like with the house and all. Breaking up is the best decision because he will never change. It just becomes a cycle, and it gets very tiring, and her resentment just keeps growing. It's basically a recipe for disaster. Let's read a few comments. Vita77 said, "You did it. It's the right answer. Go live your best life." Uh, Bluebird's wife said, "Your update makes zero sense. You say we got our down payment back, but that's not how buying a house works. This story sounds like it's written by a person that buys into the whole 'I got drunk in Vegas and accidentally got married' trope without understanding the logistics." Okay. Me, I don't know how buying a house works, but OP says this is how it works in my country. If you want to buy a house, you have to pay a down payment to ensure you're actually buying it. And after 3 months, the final documents are signed and the house is yours. If you break the contract in 99% of the cases, you lose your down payment as a penalty for breach of contract. I'm extremely lucky that the seller of the house took pity on me and told me she wanted to help out because she was in the same situation as me last year. Hence why she offered to let me rent the place, and we got our money back. Truly one in a million. That's very lucky. That's very lucky. Okay, so this is a very interesting situation, though it's a typical situation. Have you ever experienced someone using weaponized incompetence? Let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.